This video is intended to show how to flash the UEFI BIOS on the ASRock Fatal1ty Z68 Professional Gen 3 motherboard. You start with the ASRock support website for this machine. Click on download, and this just came out a few days ago. It's August 23rd. Okay, we download the file. All right, next thing to notice, if we look inside the download, all there is a single file. All right, so we're going to put that in a FAT formatted USB key. So here we are on my local computer. Let's go ahead and format. Choose format. Now on this particular machine, or particular 1 gig USB stick, it's going to do FAT by default. It's fine. BIOS a good name, quick format, yes. Done. So here we are with a simple file. And now we're going to drag the file onto the USB stick. Okay, that's all you want on the USB stick. So now I've put that USB stick in this system. I've booted and hit delete to bring up the UEFI setup utility. You'll see I'm in the advanced menu here. And in the advanced menu, you have an option called Instant Flash. And there you go. So I didn't even have to reboot, just shoving in the USB stick. It then detected it, found the file, and now it's going to flash to that level. Just going to hit enter. And that's it. It doesn't ask you to say yes or confirm. It just goes. So there's nothing special about that USB stick. Literally just one file on it. No DOS or anything needed. Just the single file. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this face. There's a new option in this 1.30, I understand. And it's explained right here. Tweak down form. Saying you can get rid of the face by doing this procedure. So let's try it. So it looks like it's done. We hit any key, it reboots. And we're going to want to hit delete to get back into the UEFI setup. This machine has a RAID adapter, so it takes a little extra long to boot. You'll see non-UEFI devices, non-UEFI devices, such as this RAID controller that has an old style BIOS in it, work fine. The UEFI factory default settings that I'm now at, anytime I flash this ASRock, it goes to factory defaults. Now that I'm at these factory default settings, it still supports PCI, BIOS, old style devices just fine, as you can see. Okay, I'm getting ready to hit the delete key to get into configuration. Okay, we're in. So now we need to dig around a little for this new setting to get rid of the face. And let's take a look here. Right there. UEFI setup style. It's right the very first option after flashing. And I'm going to hit left arrow to get to exit, save changes and exit, hit it, yes. So I made only one change, and we should see the face go on this next boot. Now that face showing there might have been a caching leftover artifact from my frame grabber that I'm using here. So let's wait until it actually finishes booting to see how this thing truly behaves. I'm going to intentionally hit delete to get into the BIOS setup. That didn't work out so well. Let's try that again. I didn't hit delete quickly enough. And the face is still showing. Now notice even though the face showed and it said press any delete to get into the routine, the configuration, doesn't let me. Basically you need to wait until after PCI devices finish their power on routine, like my RAID controller. I've disabled the BIOS on my RAID controller because I don't boot from it. Alright, I've gotten in. The face is gone, so that's a good sign. So now to really convince you this is working, and my caching artifact should be gone now, I'm going to go ahead and power this machine off, which you'll see. I will switch to do that. Okay, blank video. And let's power it back on again. And let's watch it come up. And we should see what the new interface looks like. So it appears the face is still there. So the face is actually only gone after you get into the configuration utility, not when you power on the machine. Interesting. Yep, so we've followed the instructions. We've gotten rid of the face in the configuration utility, yet that face still shows up when you power on the machine. Let's see what happens if we change the BIOS setting so that the full screen logo does not show when you power on the machine. Save and exit, say yes. So now we'll find out if the face shows up at all. I didn't see it, so that's a good sign. I can actually power it off. Or reboot again. But yeah, that splash screen is dictated by that second tweak I just showed. Keep the splash screen from showing up at all. So at this point when you power on the system, you'll no longer see a face, period. Two things to set. Fatality2 kind of theme or skin, as well as the second setting pertaining to whether you want a splash screen showing at all. So that's it. I just power cycled a second time. Indeed, there's no red background, no nothing. You can still, of course, hit delete to get into setup. Let's watch that closely, and let's see what the prompt is for hitting delete. I'm trying to remember if I've tested this. I think you can hit delete while a PCI device BIOS is initializing, but I'm not sure. I've generally been hitting it right after this screen goes away, and then I successfully get into the UEFI configuration. Okay, I just pushed it right there. So you saw a non-graphical screen that said push delete to get in. We can make that screen show a little longer as well. Right here. So it's only showing for 1 second, which is kind of crazy short. Okay. So now we power on the system. All we get is the PCI device first. Now in my case, I have a remote appliance switch to turn this device on and off, even though it's plugged into a UPS. Makes it handy to remotely power cycle this box. So I'm going to hit delete now that I have several seconds. Notice it stayed longer. I hit delete. I had plenty of time to think about it. On this boot, I'm going to take the tweaking one step further and go in and find the power setting. Where the heck is that? There it is, South Bridge. Power on. I want the system to be awake and ready. Oops. Exit and save changes. There. So now you'll see I'm going to hit a switch and I'm going to power off video. Boom, power's off. Now I'm going to do the equivalent of turning the switch on, which basically just plugs this Z68 motherboard back into wall power. And because we set the UEFI BIOS to resume power on state when power is reapplied, it just works. No graphical interface. There we have it. I'm going to hit F11. And I should be able to point to the drive where I happen to have a Windows instance installed. I believe it's that one. And there we go. We get an operating system coming up.